The sun is spoken, the day is alive. The peaceful breath of November skies, space jewels of time from her to me. She's become everything I hoped she'd be. Hopes and dreams will promise to always.
Well, hello everyone. So glad to have you back. Excited to do another words to avoid for today. Before we do that, business from last week. We had a trivia question for winning a portable ping pong set that you could set up anywhere. And the question had to do with favorite pastimes. And it was, what favorite pastime toy sells more than any other toy in the U.S., more than baseballs, basketballs, and footballs combined? Was it the hula hoops, jump ropes, and frisbees? And the answer is, of course, frisbees. Got a lot of answers on this one. The first three people who got it right here. So congratulations to our winners. You are going to get a travel ping pong set. So congratulations right there. Okay. All right. Well, let's get back to it. We're still under the category of gaining credibility and words to avoid. And we're going to go back to the first paragraph now. Mr. Jones, I had a chance to take a look at your file and came up with a value of about $30,000, which I feel is fair. We've talked a lot about words to avoid, and we know willing to, offer, took a look at, came up with, we're not going to use anymore. Had an opportunity, feel or think, throw in, and bump it up. Our word for this week is about. Yeah, it's worth about $30,000. That's what it's worth, about $30,000. Well, shoot, if it's worth about $30,000, maybe it's worth about $35,000. You know, who knows, right? This is very much along the lines of feel or think. Do you remember last time, actually a time or two ago, we talked about feel and think. That we don't use the words feel and think when we're certain about something. Well, about is pretty close to that. Now, oftentimes the word about is in there just because we don't want to get down to technicalities. However, when people are talking about how much money they're going to get, it's a good idea to be very specific. Now, what would be the difference between, well, you have about $30,000 in medical bills or you have $29,847.16 in medical bills? What would be the difference in presenting that to somebody? Well, when you got it down to the penny, very few people will question you. They must have figured you've done your homework. About $30,000, hey, I don't know if you're missing something. I don't know if you added something wrong. You know, who knows? And it can be frustrating for people. Imagine you call a contractor to your house. How much is it going to cost to redo the sink? Oh, about $5,000, which is what they oftentimes do say. Well, that could be a little frustrating, right? So we don't want to use the term about because, first of all, kind of opens it up. Well, then if it's about this, it can be more. But it also lets people know that we're not certain. Now, there's some exceptions to this, which I'll talk about. But basically, what you want to do is you want to be talking about this is the value of your claim. Because you had this much ALE and because you had this much damage to your roof, we've evaluated a claim at $33,860.40. Okay? It's an evaluation. We worked on this. See, we didn't come up with this. We worked on this. This is our calculation. So you want to be specific. If you're reviewing medical bills with someone, instead of saying, well, about $30,000 in medical bills, you really do want to be specific. You had $29,284.17, you know, whatever it is. To be specific, it lets the other person know you know exactly what you're talking about. And it doesn't leave open the fact that, well, if your claim's worth about $30,000, well, then it can be worth $35,000. So the word about does almost the same damage or feel or think. It lets people know that you're not certain. Now, the exception to this is, let's say you've got a really big number. Let's say I'm negotiating some settlement with somebody and I say, okay, you know, based on the value of this claim or, you know, your medical records, you have $197,248.17. You don't have to repeat that every time. All you have to do is talk about, well, remember what we talked about. This is the value of your claim. Remember that $179,000 number I gave you? You can refer to a past number and round it. You really can. Just leave the word about out, okay? So you don't have to go back and restate every single calculation and down to the penny. The first time it's a good idea. But the next time you could just refer to it as that number. You really can. Everybody will know what you're talking about. Just leave the word about out. Be specific with people. Let people know you got down to the nitty-gritty. All right? And especially when you're settling the claim, leave the word about completely out. There isn't an alternative word for this. The value of your claim is $32,000. If you're going to round it off, say the value of your claim is $32,000. If it's going to be specific, maybe you have a workers' comp claim, the value of your claim is $32,860.40. Okay? If you're being more specific. If it's a property claim, you could get down to the penny. We're going to issue a check for $29,260.40. Why that amount? Because that's the value of your claim. And always refer back to it being the value of the claim or the settlement value. All right? So we're still not done. We've still got one or two more things to talk about. But for now, we've got a whole lot of words we're going to have to get out of our vocabulary. I've got some advice on how to do that coming up, because that's not easy. Habits are hard to break. But we're almost there. We're getting near the end, I promise you. All right. As always, call me or email me. I'm happy to answer any questions you've got, go over any information, and certainly role play with you if you'd like. All right, let's get to the fun stuff. Our friends at Latitude have sponsored a musical note travel cup. Isn't that nice? It's a nice one. It's a really nice one. More than I'd spend on me, on myself. But it's really nice, and it's got a musical note there. And since it has a musical note, guess what? Let's see if we can't do a trivia question having to do with music. So the category is called Sound of Music, and here it is. People who suffer from, I'm going to try to pronounce this, anhedonia. Is that right? Anybody know? Nobody knows. But anyway, that's how it's spelled. I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. People who suffer from this are frightened by music, can't remember melodies, or unable to gain pleasure from music. Go ahead and email me. The first 3 people who get the right answer, you're going to get your musical travel cup. Okay? All right. As always, it's been a pleasure. Hope you learned something. And we've got a Is This a Claim video coming up in just a second, so hang out for that. And I'll see you next time. All right? Take care, everyone. All right, well, if you like these videos, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when we do put up a new video, please choose the All button under Notifications.
Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are always smiling and happy. Where our work just seems like play. Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are always smiling and happy. Where our work just seems like play. Welcome to our unit.